Henry III Market Charter. Well, that was a nice early morning alarm call from a lawnmower. Lavenham, let's do a dawn walking tour. Back by popular demand. Yes, good shout with the French horn idea, Silent Tavern. But Mozart was around in, the late 18th century. That was when he composed the first movement of the Horn Concerto No. 2 in E-flat major, catalogue K417 you're listening to now, the Allegro. Lavenham has been around so much longer than that. Most of the buildings you see are early 16th century. So that's the reign of King Henry VIII. But even before then, Queen Boadicea marched through Lavenham on her way to fight the Roman army at what's now Colchester. But in the 1200s, King Henry III gave it its royal charter. But Lavenham reached its peak long before the Industrial Revolution. In fact, it became one of Britain's 20 richest towns in the mid-1500s. We're talking Renaissance era here, and that was due to the wool industry. It's so rare anywhere in the world, let alone Europe or Britain, that you'll find a medieval village so complete and intact as Lavenham. And that looks set to continue long into the future, as 200 of the buildings, you can probably guess which, are listed. But, like any boom town, it eventually becomes a ghost town, and Lavenham was no different. The cause in this case were Dutch immigrants settling in nearby Colchester, who were able to weave cloth of a much higher quality, cheaper price, and more of it. Now, I'm well aware that many of you in the audience are in the VanLife community, or are vicarious onlookers, or even some trolls for some reason. And imagine the trolls will have gone by now, but I am concerned that I might be losing a few VanLifers at this point. But don't worry, in 4.5 minutes time there will be some glimpses of van life in Lavenham. But if, like me, you're just enjoying this walk around Lavenham, just slack-jawed, tongue out, thinking, wow, the magnificent splendour of all this half-timbered, wattle door, medieval architecture with the wonky upper stories, then yeah, that's how I felt. I just walked around Lavenham the whole day until my legs ached, obviously pausing nearly every minute to take a few seconds of video for you to look at home. But I won't be offended if half of you drop out now, because this is the time where I lose half my viewers. And really, I I didn't do it for you. I did it for me, really, because it's going to be a pretty boring life if all you do is, when you think about driving, is just going from A to B, like most of the mundanes call it. No, if you have time, then take the time. Just go to places you've never seen, see what's there, and take the time to soak up the beauty and the history. Well, congratulations to those of you still here. You've made it past the 8.5 minute mark. That's when I normally lose 80% of my viewers to low concentration span, but you're still here. You don't need gimmicks like a Mozart French horn concerto or narration or any fancy editing. You just want to see the beauty of Lavenham in deepest, darkest Suffolk. And as promised, here's a camper van, a hardtop VW T4, I think. A man can dream, can't he?
Anyway, not till after 30th of March.
Many of you have told me you like to watch my videos just to drift off to sleep in the evening. So enjoy this stroll through Lavenham Park. Look at the bees on the apple blossom, and look at the buds coming out in the trees as the daffodils give way to the flowers of spring. Good night. Well, that was the beautiful medieval wool town of Lavenham in Suffolk. Now, I've been to other beautiful towns in the country: Wymondham, Cwmbran, Llandrindod Wells. Subscribe there. See you in the next one. B-roll.